Now, probably one of the coolest virtual instruments I've ever seen, not for music. And this one we're talking about is Walker 2 Effects by UVI, and it runs inside Falcon or just inside the player if you don't have Falcon. And this thing is revolutionary for sound designers. So it's not for everybody, but if you're into sound designing for video games or for movies, this thing is going to blow your mind. So what I've got here is a little video, hacked together some shots of me just going through an antique store, and I've got some room to put some footsteps in it. So we're going to try this Walker 2 Effects thing out. So what does this thing look like? Well, here's the interface right here. It's all resizable. You can make it as big as you want, which is beautiful. Very clean, got a little bit of skeuomorphism, but not too much. Just the right blend. Looks really good. Right here you can see the type of microphone that you're recording your footsteps with. And as we'll see in a second, this isn't just about footsteps, it's also about some Foley as well. So the clothing, or whether somebody has a set of keys in their pocket. You can go over here, you can change to whether they are human feet, so boots, shoes, all types of shoes, or you can actually do animal feet. And some of you are thinking, why on earth would I want to do animal feet footsteps? And I've done sound effects and sound design for animations for a very long time. And a lot of that time was spent making footsteps for a little bear character, an animated bear running through the forest, running around his wooden house, you know? Anyway, so for sound designers doing animation, this is going to be next level as well. Then we've also got a sound design. So you've got things like leaves and walking on paper or rocks or vegetables. Okay, this is going to get fun, that's for sure. So right here is where you choose everything, and then over on the right-hand side, we've got some presets as well. Let's just start from scratch. So you can see you're playing it by the keyboard, which is also brilliant because most sound designers have a keyboard in their studio. You can trigger this by your typing keyboard, of course, if you don't have a MIDI keyboard. And we can see that it's mapped out. You've got every C and E is kind of like the left and right foot with some variation going up the keyboard. And we've got some kind of scuffs and stops on the C sharp and the D sharp, and then a different type of scuff on the D. So you can hear you can kind of play these sound effects while watching your video. And so here you can see you've got the shoe type. You click on it and you can change all the different types of shoes. And bare feet, that's a really big one. Let's try socks. As I go faster, it's automatically changing the speed to probably recordings of somebody in socks running, as opposed to just taking a walking sound effect of someone's footstep and speeding that up. When you are making footstep sounds, you're often thinking about the heel and the toe, and that really quick connection. And if you think about somebody who's running, they're going to be more on their tippy toes kind of thing. So it is, it's changing with the speed automatically as I move faster on the keyboard, or you can just turn that off and choose the speed. So I can go to really fast, to slow. Anyways, let's change the material again. Let's try dress shoes. There's that heel toe thing I was talking about. And a scuff. Ah, this sounds so good. It really does. I've never been so excited about footsteps in my life, but honestly, when you get into sound design, you do spend a lot of time making footsteps for all types of video. Here we can choose the distance as well. So do you want to be a little bit further away from somebody? You can see the reverb's going up. Let's change the room to something bigger. Let's go to a court lobby. Let's change the distance. Beautiful stuff. It's all connected to the reverb right there. Let's go to exterior and see what happens. Let's go to a street and make it further away. Well, that sounds great. We're going to try this out here on this little video. Here we can change the surface, so you can see that I am on concrete, which is going to be perfect in this little video. Let's try a wood deck. And then gravel. and grass. This is probably the biggest one for me. Here we can see we've got the clothing type. So let's change the clothing to, let's go to leather, or thick leather. And you can hear the whoosh as the person's legs are moving. Rubber suit. Silk. The volume too, a lot louder. So you can hear the sound of the clothing as the feet are moving. Pretty cool. So we are getting to some serious Foley design here as well. Now check this one out. You can go into this bottom one and you could choose, maybe they've got keys in their pocket. Let's turn it up. Hear the keys rattling as the person's walking. This is so cool. Chain. So your Jacob Marley stuff. And then if you just wanted the sound of those effects, you could of course solo them. Medieval armor. And then we also have some other things you can adjust on the shoes here as well. So you've got things like wet shoe. Oh man. This is so good. Squeak. Perfect for those comedic moments. And spurs. Look at animals for a second. So we've got things like hooves, big paws, small paws. Get a little bit bassier. And the thing about paws is they only hit once, right? So it's not like a foot. And we'll go to design and check this one out. So let's see, crackle. I love this. Leaves is so good. Metal. And we're just going to go try some of this out. So we're going to actually put in some footsteps for me on different surfaces. And I'll show you how I would probably approach this. I've already added some markers in here. And if you watch my old video on Nuendo a month and a half ago, you'll see how I put in some of these sound effects. And so I'll let you go dig into that one to check that out. But for this one, what I'm going to do is add the footsteps because this video had no sound to it at all. So just kind of recreating everything. So I've got different ambiances as I'm walking through these different areas. It's just a few seconds long, looking at some records and then leaving the store. Let's start with the feet on the wood because you can see me here walking up the stairs. It's wooden stairs and then all of a sudden I'm on the street. So we're going to start from scratch here. And we're going to set the surface to stairs wood, because that's the kind of stairs I'm going up here. And then maybe let's put in some keys in my pocket. Crank it up a bit. And then let's try adding some dirt to the stairs here. Okay, maybe that's a little much. Get this guy walking up the stairs here. Watch it. That's looking great. And if I want to, I can click on these notes and I can make sure that in Cubase or in Nuendo, use video follows edit mode is turned on. I've got a whole video on that. And watch what happens as I slide this around with the snap off. You can decide exactly where you want the foot to fall. And I can sort of see my body go down a little bit right there. That's probably where the foot is falling or just before it. And this one a little bit later just to get the rhythm right. Same with this one, move it over a bit. Probably bring that way down in the mix, so we'll bring that down to something like this. Excellent. Okay, next we're going to do the concrete. Let's go concrete gritty. Sounds good. And we'll turn off the dirt. Let's change that to boots, actually. All right, and this one, it's farther away, so I'm going to duplicate that track, call this feet concrete far, and in this one, I'm going to go and increase the distance. So we're going to go distance way up, and we're we're going to go to Effects and change that reverb to Exterior Street. Perfect. Here we go. So watch, I can watch my feet and drop the foot right there. Go to the next one. There's the other foot right there. Right foot, boom. And left foot right there. And other foot. This is kind of off screen. So what I could do to get the rhythm exactly right is I could drag this out. And then now I'm going to take this one, Option drag it up. So what this does is it means the cadence of this is going to be exactly the same as this distance to the next footstep. This is good sound design, right? Oh, I got another foot right here, way off screen. But now again, I keep the cadence of my footsteps. Okay, so next I'm going to change this to feet on carpet. We'll say this guy's going down some stairs. Let's go to creaking wood floor. There we go. Yes. As he's walking down the stairs, this is brilliant. And I'll do him a little stompier by playing a little harder on the keyboard. Perfect. Let's line those up. So you can see I've got my head kind of going back and forth, dictating when the feet are hitting. Boom, something like that. Another one right about here. So now we'll just watch this little clip here. I'll show you how those footsteps are overlapping with some of my sound effects. I'll probably bring them down a little further in the mix, but whatever. This is just so fun. I'm so impressed with this virtual instrument, and I'm going to get a ton of use out of it. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing sound effects, you're needing footsteps a lot, you can't go wrong with this virtual instrument. And I seriously hope UVI comes out with a whole library of virtual instruments like this, because they're onto something really special here, and definitely excited to see what they do next. So thanks for watching the video. Hit the subscribe button and the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.